Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Greg here again with a kit review. This kit was sent to me by my good friend Steve Mottram. We were just discussing this kit, and all of a sudden he sent me a text saying, watch out for the kit to be delivered. I've ordered you it. What else can you say? The guy's a legend. So thank you very much, Steve. Really nice gesture. So it's a new kit, and it's the M10 USSR Lease. I haven't really looked at the kit. I've just opened the box, had a quick gander through the sprues, and they look nice. So it's got nice box artwork on the front. Obviously it's 1/35 scale. I've actually bought a metal barrel for it. I've had one for it, but I didn't buy it specifically for this kit. I already had one for another, I think it was I can't remember which one it was now, the other M10, the other Academy M10, the American one. Well, American markings I should say. But I thought this was a bit unusual with the USSR Lease with the crew figures, which are in with the kit, which is nice. So it's an Academy kit, as you can see, and it's a 1/35 scale. And the product number, code, whatever it is, 13521. There's a bit of instruction on there. Read that, that's all. A bit of photo etch parts included as well, which is nice. Always nice when they're included. And the figures are by Masterbox, which I never realised until I've read that now. So that's they'll be very good quality figures then. So on the sides we have the normal sort of paints, what you're going to use: Humbrol, GSI Krios, Life Colour, Testers, Model Master, Rival, Vallejo, and AK. So there's a 10 mostly to use to me. So obviously I'll have most of those colours. We've been in an armour kit, and then obviously a bit of instructions, and they contain small parts, blah blah blah, in all the foreign countries and things. No glue, not included, is cement and paint. Oh, never have guessed. And on the other side we have small pictures of the actual finished vehicle from the front. It's painting more than a finished vehicle. The rear, one of the sides, and the crew figures. So as you can see, there's 5 crew figures, and a little bit of photo etch is basically for the lamp guards. So we'll open the box and we'll see what we've got. It's a typical Academy box. It's nice and sturdy. Nice artwork on the vehicle. As you can see, I've just had a quick gander. Say we've got the usual sort of stuff we don't need. So what I'll do is I'll just do what I normally do, move the box out of the way, and if I can move the box out of the way, and gradually bring out the sprues. And we'll find my knife. Not organised as normal. So they're just the tracks basically for the whippet. I have the brown primer coat. The off topic. Let's go back to topic. So the first sprue we have is actually we don't need the knife or resealable bags, which is nice. So we have the figures. I don't think all the figures are on one sprue, are they? Yeah, they are on one sprue. I have to say, typical Masterbox, really nice details. Let's have a look at just one of the torsos. Just bring this light back onto here. As you can see, the detail is really nice. Hopefully the fit will be. It's 5 figures. The crew heads are they're not generic, or they're all different. So there's basically one. I'll show you one to start with. Where's he gone? There he is. A nice detail on the trousers, and obviously on the torso as well. The tanker's hat. Another figure. They're all really quite nicely detailed. And I say I didn't realise they were from Masterbox. And as yet, MB Masterbox Limited. So that's a nice bonus. I just did a thought they were Academy figures. Even though Academy's figures aren't the best, but Right, so we do need a knife. It's just the carabiner box that needed put it when it's, there we go. I won't take a piece of string out, it's just a typical piece of string in there for the cable. So we have two sprues identical. Basically this is the running gear, the wheels and the bogies. That's it, really nicely detailed. So it says on the kit, Academy, made in North Korea. Doesn't give you a date. I'll have a look on the if it's a tub or whatever. But the detail is really quite nice. Flash free. Up the bogies. All really nicely detailed. Outer wheels. And then we have the cog, the sprocket. There's two sprockets, there must be two variants you can make. Turn idler, transmission cover for final drive. Yeah, there must be two. Oh no, sorry, it's me. Yeah, there must be two different sprockets that you can use. There's the two sprues, isn't there? So that'll be interesting to see when we get to the instructions about that. I'll just move those out of the way. Goes down there. And we have a sprue that's fallen out of his bag by the looks of it. Yeah, and these are all, there's nothing missing, which is unusual. 135 M10. It was the GMC M10 that I was on about as well. So this is the sprue from that. Yeah, and this is basically all the part of the shells you build up. The base shell, and then the lids, and the bottoms, and obviously the lids will be, the tops will be on somewhere else. But, yeah, there's quite a few of that, as you can see. There's quite a few shells to be done. It's unusual not being in a bag. I never noticed that. An afterthought, or I forgot to put it in. Right, we have two sprues in this bag as well, but they are completely different. Right, have a look at this. A 50 cal and a 30 cal there. The stowage. And some Pioneer tools. Like fuel caps. Well, I said they're all nicely detailed again. Pioneer tools, a big wrench, a starter handle, the axe, a hammer, a bit of grab handles, the eyes for the tow cables, two shovels, boxes and things, and the 50 cal there isn't drilled out, but it shouldn't be a problem to do that. 30 cal too small to do, but the 50 cal I should be able to. It's not bad detail. I've seen a lot worse anyhow, put it that way. It's just the end isn't, if I'm clever enough, I've got a small enough drill, I might even try and attempt to hollow out those as well, on the barrel itself. But yeah, nice enough, nothing wrong with that. And then again we have another 30 cal, that's for the front, ball mounted one. Obviously this is a bit of interior. The fighting compartment with a checker plate, and presumably that's part of the internal mantle or external mantlet. There's some more internal, so I think there must be the side walls. And there's an engine in this as well. Alright, a bit of a transmission, a bit of an engine there as well. And it's like ours, which we've got the PE for, I think. I think it's a Thompson. Got a little Thompson machine gun there. Another, that's the 30 cal again for the ball mounted one in the front. We have two types of transmission covers, you know, two. I'll have to see. One must be maybe the G10 and something like that. But there again, nicely detailed, no flash. All I can see, I have no injection marks where there should be, shouldn't be, I should say. And what injection marks there are, they're in the correct places in the rear. So what is it? I realise there's a bit of an engine there. It's not part of the. I don't think it's the engine, is it? Must be part of the gun mount, the gun barrel, internal workings. We'll find out. We'll find out. So it's quite a bit of plastic, you know. I know Academy kits and usually tons of plastic, but there's enough plastic in this kit. It really is. I don't know how much of it will be used, but see, there's a lot of GM10 kits in here as well. M10 GMC, sorry, in here as well. So there's another little small bag there with, I'll open it and see as well. There's another gun inside here as well, so we'll have to work out all this when we get to the instructions of what's going to be used and what's not going to be used. And we have a separate sprue on its own. Is another 50 cal this time. The holes, I can work that out. Holes are hollowed out on this one, which is great, which is good news. So hopefully that will one I'll be using with a bit of luck. The detail's quite nice on it as well. A lot better on this one than it was on the other. And the other one wasn't bad, but very nice. That's on its own though. I presume more internal workings. A separate sprue again. This one hasn't got any name on it, so I presume this is a new sprue. Sprue G. More internal works for the shells to be stood up in and things like that. There again, no flash, no injection marks. Lovely, lovely. And we have 3 sprues in this bag, all separate sprues. And this is for the Academy. This is a new sprue as well. This one's new sprue. So we have the turret, which is nicely detailed. I do like the shape of that. It's quite nice. Really quite nice detail that's on that turret. Right, and the rest of it, I think it's more internal workings again for there's the mantlet, and then we're thinking the insides again. There's the gun, the breech and things, and there's some more shells, completely shells, like searchlights of some description. But if you look at them closely, they've got that nice effect on them that you would get. You know, that's quite nicely done. That. Better if it had been clear, but it can't have everything. Steering wheel, or for the wheel for the gun. More small parts, and see, as you can see, they're all nicely detailed, and there's no flash even on the small parts. Really nice. Another socket, another sprue here. This has got M10 GMC, so this is an older sprue. Again, so this is mainly for the internal stuff as well, which we have there. See where the shells are stood up, and then more checkerboard, internal stuff for the outside on the turret. Engine grill at the back. Lots of little delicate little pieces as well, look like muck guards I think, I'm not too sure. There's a more engine covers. And I think that's probably the external, that's probably the rear engine deck as well. Not too sure, I'll have to check that. Well, I would have thought it would have been, but we shall find out. There must be a very different variant for each one, from the GMC M10 and the Russian Lease M10, which I shall have to try and find out. Actually I'll put that gun on its own back in there. hopefully the rest of it will be among all them screws that we can build a 50 cal up from that. Getting near the end of the plastic now. And so far I'm quite impressed, in fact very impressed. And it was at a reasonable price as well. I think it was just, well, I didn't pay for it, but Mr. Mottram did, but it wasn't overly expensive. I think it was in the 20s, maybe 26 quid, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then we have the, you know, for the cover on the front, for the riveted or bolted part to the front braces from the transmission cover. Presumably that's the idler return, or for the, yeah. More sure, presumably they're for, I'm not sure what they are at the moment. There's a lot of them, so presumably shells. And again, side work. As you can see, it's giving you where the hammer and the big wrench goes. They're all clearly marked. I don't know, maybe not to see them when you've painted it, but right on the side. Again, you know, they are crisp, fresh mark, you know, crisp and nice, and no problems at all with any of it. And obviously that's the lower of the turret. Again, but I'm very happy with this. And then we have the last sort of sprue, and we have the tracks, spare tracks, which are nicely detailed. And there's no, yes, there is injection markings but on there, but they won't be too bad to get out. It's not a problem. That's just for the spare track. And this sprue is for the GMC one as well, so oh, it's interesting. I wonder what these are on this top of here. We have, must be things that you try and cut off, which is going to be fun, trying to get some bits and pieces off there. It's obviously there for the cast numbers and things. Yeah, rivet bolt heads and different things like that. I've never seen that before. Well, that in that amount on a kit before. It's a bit unusual. We have some, I think there's a slight touch of flash on that canister with my thumb on. Just a bit of flash around those, but it'll take long to get them cleaned up. I think the water canisters by the looks of it. Water bottles, whatever you want to call it. So there you see is the old M10 GMC kit, this one part of it. There again, can't complain, cannot complain at all. And I was showing you the back of plenty jerry cans, American and German as well. Again, nice neat, nothing wrong with that. I'm just thinking on this track, is it going to go? There's only four to get out. Thin, skinny stick, we'll get rid of them. So that's the end of that plastic, and then we'll get to the tub, which is obviously it's a tub. So this is for the this is the old GMC one as well. Made in Korea. Nothing really much to say about the base, but it's still quite nicely detailed. Yeah, the usual fare for an M10 or Sherman based vehicles. A bit of detail, that's about it. There's a bit of detail on there, on the sponson there. Electrical work, one would presume, for the lighting, and for the upper hull. There again. It's nice. There's a slight, you can see the texture, there's a slight texture on it. I'll have to look at this and see what kind of texture we've got. We've got nice weld seams along the back there. Are there weld seams? It must be weld seams, of course they are. Bring that up there a little bit. Let it focus. Again, quite nice. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing. What's the fit going to be like? Yeah. Obviously, there's more things to go in it. Oh, but yeah. Yeah. that's there. We shall find out when we build it. And then we have the tracks, which are the vinyl tracks, rubber tracks. A lot of people don't like them, I don't mind them. There's a couple of little marks in them like that that we can get a bit of... Should we cut them out or delicately try and rub them out? But there's nothing wrong with the tracks themselves. There's plenty of detail on the actual part that you're going to see on the out front. There's nothing actually wrong with them. And I presume it maybe been a newer kit. This is off the M12, this, so I don't know if it's the glue or if it's the old-fashioned way. They're not bad. They're not bad at all. I know a lot of people don't like these tracks, but depending on what you want to do with them, you know, it really is. But there's nothing wrong with them. You know, these kits didn't have a lot of sag. You know, the M10s and Sherman things didn't have a lot of any sag, to be honest. Maybe a little bit. So you know, that's not a problem. Right. Not like the German stuff, which is obviously not a thing. And we have the. This is only my reservation is from now. I've only had one Academy kit fail me with the decals, and that was the captured T3476, which I did quite a while ago. They just would not bed down. And they don't look too bad. They don't look too bad at all, these. Maybe they've improved since then. Let me just get the light off and you can just see the numbers, the red star and other bits and bobs. And on the back was a little bit of PE, which I said, which is light guards. And a couple of little other things there. So that must be in the M10 GMC one as well. Right, and I did buy a barrel. I never looked at the barrel in there actually. I've got an arbor barrel that at a reasonable price wouldn't cost too much. So we'll probably use that. Well, we'll be using it, that's what I got it for. For the GMC one, so we'll see this later. And then we have the first instructions are from the Master Box figures, which is nice, fairly straightforward. The driver, somebody standing in the hatch, so you lean against things. So there's quite a few figures in there as well. One of them's actually smoking a cigarette. Close to that. Oh, the cigarette is actually included in the kit. Yeah, they don't look too bad at all. And then we have a colour call out again, which I do like. This is a lot better. I know it's only giving it's only olive green, Lease olive green, but it's just giving you the decal placement, but you can work from that, can't you? So it's, you know, Sherman based vehicle with the wheels, with the bogies and things like that. Obviously you've got the big 50 cal on the back. And a ball mounted one on the front. There isn't one on the front, is there? So I don't know what that's for then. But there isn't a ball mounted one on one of these, I don't think. No, there isn't. Interesting. Right, so they have the gumph. You've got stuff that you're going to need and blah blah blah. And it's typical with Academy. We have 2 instruction manuals. Obviously the usual fare at the front with the same picture quality, picture as on the front, and then obviously caution and giving you the what needs. The paint instructions. Right, I thought we were going to look with a booklet, but we're not. Obviously the first thing is obviously normally we would do is start off with the wheels and the sprockets and one thing and another. Just giving you an idea of which ones to use. It's options, yeah. So what's the options? The sprocket wheel at the back. I see. If you look at it closely, the one on the top is different. Is fine, but the one on the bottom is different. See? And there's caution. Whatever caution's for. C is for optional parts. So when we're looking at this, we'll have to check everything. And the building of the bogies. relatively straightforward. Let me just come back with, which is relatively straightforward. And on to number 3, which is starting to attach the bogies to the lower hull, which I probably won't be doing at that point. And then we're starting to build up, yeah, internal stuff. Yeah, it's basically the transmission cover, isn't it? That's not the engine. I thought it was. That was too good to be true. Yeah. Starting on the internal stuff there. Actually building. There's a seat for the radio operator, I would presume, and then we've got the driver. And then placing that into the lower tub. And then we've got the transmission cover. Options, it's giving you 2 options for the actual tow hooks, I think, more than anything else. H16 or D25. Right, number 7. Right. We're starting again with more interior stuff. Yeah, you get the Thompson machine gun, some ammo boxes, I will presume, and then we have, that'll be the dashboard, I will presume, for the driver, or radio. Oh, it's not to be the radio, is it? Whatever it is, we'll find out with radio operator. 100% sure. More internal stuff again. It's quite nicely detailed for inside at all. It's right along to just the fighting bay. You've got the whole thing, and the firewall at the back. I don't think there's an engine to go in there. There we are. Some more sub-assemblies for lights. It's actually nice, just giving you where it's going and then a photo of the actual place where it's positioned, which is quite nice again. And then we have them water bottles there, internal stuff, more boxes. Nice. So that's 8. And 10. And then we're still on with the internal stuff, adding the shells. And I thought that sprue wheel was on its own. Yeah, there's 32 of them. Building them up as well on the racks. Not too sure what that part is, but we'll find out. That's the rear plate with the exhausts by looking at them. And again, yeah, back plate with the exhausts. And then onto the back outside again, to the externals of the vehicle. The hatches. To be done, there's a bit of interior work on the hatches as well, which is nice to see. And then back on the top of the engine, rear engine cover, and the glacis plate on the front. More bits and pieces added to it. Little eye of the hooks for lifting, I will presume. And let's give us an option there between something I'll have to check out when I do it. Upper right. So it's giving you a little where C33 is going to go, which we'll have to look. Remember, obviously, when you I always read the instructions a few times before I build my kits anyhow, just to make sure there's anything I should be made aware of. So far, it's a nice build kit, and obviously you got the PE. You got the options for the PE. Using the PE on the plastic, but I'll probably use the PE. And there's some more external stuff on the outside of the hull. And then we proceed to manual 2. So we're on manual 2 again, more into external stuff to be put on. Again, bits and bobs, small little eyelets. That's what their things were for. A bit of zoom. That's a periscope cover, a hatch. Periscope hatch. Periscope. Yeah, it is. More again, the externals on the side again with the hammer and pioneer tools and this, that, and the other. Axe head. So it's quite an It's not going to be an easy build. It's not a straight. Well, it's going to be an easy build, but it's not going to be a fast build. We've only maybe started the turret here, so we're finishing off the upper hull, and then it's telling you to put the upper hull to the bottom of the hull, and then it's fitting of the tracks. What does it say? Melt together, so it's the old stuff, so it's no problem. Not a problem. As long as you don't go over considering red, make it red up, it melts the whole thing. It's hot enough to melt it. And then we're starting off with the gun breech. Again, building that up. Let's just bring this back a little bit. That's quite detailed. And then let me just fold this underneath here. It's the only problem with these. Just put things on the internal of the, well, at the bottom of the actual turret. Some more rack, some armour and things again, and shells for the internal stuff on the actual turret side. And then again some more extra stuff on the back. The turret again, this is all turret work, and then putting the lower turret to the bottom turret, sorry, upper turret to the bottom turret. Okay, and this is the part I want to see, what this is, but luckily we've got that one. And then we've got the it's a two-piece barrel, so let's say I've got the metal one, and then we've got the building of the 50 cal, which is good, which is separate, which is going to make it really look nice. Quite a few parts to that, but hopefully it'll look nice when it's done. And then a little 30 cal, and then some ammo boxes, more, and then positioning the 50 cal at the back and the 30 cal on the front. Options, giving you options again. And then this is the thing about these cement, these numbers, you cut them off and put them on. Right, so look into that, and then obviously we've got the thread for the tow hook, and then jerry cans, and then we position into the towards the lower hull, and then proceed to manual 3, which is the one we've seen to start with. So that's build, the best is the build, and then manual 3 is the figures and the paintwork. So it's quite an intense kit, that really. But it should look nice. But see, I'm quite happy with the rubber tracks. The detail is not bad at all. So there's only them little, them little pieces that I have to kind of get out, but you can easily weather them tied there. Oh yeah, there we are. Just some little pin marks there. About 8 of them, I think. Maybe not even that. I can either get them out with the side cutters to start with, and just see what we get. Quite happy with them. So nice kit. Thank you very much, Mr. Mottram. I shall be building that in the near future. I haven't built a tank destroyer yet, so it'll be interesting to build. So I'd like to say thank you very much to all my subscribers, new and old, and thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to view this. We're back soon with an update on the Meng Whippet. We're onto the painting part of it now, so that shouldn't be too long before that's up and running, and we'll catch you there. So, see you soon.